Mbonu C. Obiageli, and here goes pedagogy, where I talk to you about social, political, and economic matters in the form of a 1,000-word essay to grow your mind. Subscribe and keep watching. In what world is it okay to not choose yourself, to not be the protagonist in your own story, to perpetually view yourself from another human's prescription, to live life as a subjective consequence of society's orchestration, a lowered gaze, an unbalanced gait, a yielding tone, to be uneasy with the flow of your speech, aspiring to a rhythm that is not natural to you, to be embarrassed by the language that first gave you words, justifying your folly as sophistication, to crave the people that do not want you, equating tolerance with acceptance. Do you not know that you cannot be validated where you hold no value, that you cannot be recognized where you are not seen, that you cannot be special to hearts that have no room for your kind? When I say that colonization has left us this way, I'm not playing the blame card to excuse the lack of development after all these years. I'm not saying that we have been eternally crippled by a world history that cannot be changed. I'm not even saying that we desire the very structures and systems of the Polonias, because trees will always be better than skyscrapers, and community trumps self-absorption. I am, however, highlighting that the vestiges of exploitation from European interference, the fetters of hegemony that upset our civilizations, and the divisive imbalance created within our human systems left behind an endemic mindset that questions the legitimacy of our somebodyness, our humanness, ourself. This is the reason that you argue in favor of your adversaries, defending their bigotry as a necessity, the very reason you're recklessly compliant, marketing your subservience as assimilation, the same reason you're ashamed of your own features, disguising self-hate as a personal preference. Everyone can now see through that old strategy, how you prefer women with hair that your hands can run through, how you measure the success of your friends by which country they have migrated to, how you think several languages will confuse your children unless it is French or Spanish. Every layer of these self-loathing mechanisms exposing the depths of your Hesperian conditioning, revealing the quality of your judgments, your actions seeping into our society and shaping our tomorrow. All your choices, the ample evidence of the mental stronghold of vertical relationships, uncovering a hierarchy that you persistently preserve, but unfortunately with you at the bottom. Remember, it all started with you, and it's all the same. Shameless local institutions seeking foreign trained graduates, an easy way out. How about setting up R&D departments in the universities to contribute to their competence? Indigenous organizations obsessed with international hire, experts without expertise, only to add elegance to the face of their business. If we are inadequate outside, and we are inadequate inside, where then is our place in this world? You see, we may not be the architects of this value system, but we are the custodians, upholding it by adding to it pillar after pillar. We are now the guardians of these ideologies that undermine our being. Refusing to uproot them then means sabotaging ourselves and choosing death even when we are alive. The vessels of our inferiority is the moral collocation of colonialism and development, labeling the former as the forerunner of the later, while in fact, colonization can never achieve development. There is no record of that possibility anywhere on earth. Have you ever asked what development should look like from an African stance? The limitations to our emancipation are reinforced by the continuous outflow of our best brains, conditioned from infancy by the deceptive definition of self-serving prosperity advocated as purpose. Whereas we know that success must consist outside of self. And with all due respect, I am not talking about another foundation that hands out rice and diapers, or an Africa-focused academic thesis with no implementation vision. While social safety nets are important, sustainability cannot thrive on handouts. Thank you for the rice. Have you attempted starting a small business? The markers of our decline are founded on that psychological complex introduced by the two worlds which we now belong to. One world, destabilized by insecurities, our communities separated by the pursuit of employment, our bond weakened by the absence of depth and dented by the presence of distance, throwing bloodlines worlds apart in search of home away from home. The other world spitting us out like spoilt milk, echoing that by our color we should know our home, our only home, Africa. Have you considered the predicament of the next generation? Even if you walk this earth as an individual, our world will never fail to remind you of the group you belong to. Yet, there is no inherent problem with that if you view human relationships horizontally, because you can be different but equal, unfamiliar but respected, removing yourself from spaces that undermine you, choosing the pathway of relevance, and asserting your dignity by your resolute strides. The machines of our subjugation, the windows of our agony, and indeed the vessels of our inferiority lies in our equation of Westerners' refinement, our endorsement of our image as unworthy, our mockery of our features as unpresentable, our reinforcement of our products as beneath our use, our signatories to those condescending narratives as history, our programming of Occidental systems as the standard, the explaining away of our feelings as inconsequential, our consent to be intimidated for the sake of peace, the swallowing of our pain for the sake of composure. How dare us? How dare you? In a world that is free, but free for who? Certainly not you. As you contour to reduce the broadness of your nose, as you permanently bury your hair under a different texture to switch up your looks, as you size people up by their passports to ascertain who is deserving of honor, as you question the audacity of African reciprocity in policy, as you fearfully approach life as a checklist to be completed, never really living. You are not free. You are not free. You are not free. You are not free. You are a consequence of your Western worldview, a timid visitor in your own life, a reproach of eternal indoctrination, an extra in your own story, in everlasting shackles of shame about your experience, your origin, your ancestry. Break free. Oh dear, break free.